ushering a drastic change in the world order. The Philippine Islands had been a U.S. territory for 2 decades and was promised independence under the Jones Law of 1916. Progressive reformers saw the country and its people as a major target for modernization, and education was its main weapon. 7 forward-looking Filipinas came together in 1919 to create a school where young women could gain the knowledge and skills that would make them modern women. Paz Marquez Benitez was the first president of the Philippine Women's College. Jose Abad Santos was its first chairman of the Board of Trustees. Francisca Tirona Benitez was the second president, and with her husband Dean Conrado, guided the school from a house on A. Flores Street to its iconic Taft Avenue campus. In 1932, the college became a university, making PWU the first university for women in Asia founded by Asians. It provided a space where innovations in education flourished, and young people were encouraged to be the best that they could be. For over 100 years, the Philippine Women's University has been known as a leader in quality education. In 1934, PWU moved into its main campus on Taft Avenue, and since the 1970s has been co-educational. Located in the heart of Metro Manila, it is easily accessible by public transport and surrounded by affordable housing. Today's PWU offers undergraduate and graduate courses in several fields of study. Its business and management programs are responsive to the needs of industry, using evolving technology for global competence. PWU graduates excel in arts and sciences, education, social work, and diplomacy. Its fine arts and music programs have produced outstanding graduates through a holistic education that treasures heritage as well as excellence. PWU has pioneered in fields such as food science, nutrition and dietetics, medical technology, pharmacy, and nursing. PWU continues to play an essential role in producing graduates who possess the skills that make them competitive in the country and anywhere in the world.
We are a united community.
We may not be blood related,
but we Patriots are one big family.
Being part of the PWU community strengthens us.
Through the years, we support each other through good times and bad times.
We Patriots always have each other's back.
It's a big honor to be part of a community that is open to the ideas of each other.
It drives us to excel and be the best version of ourselves.
That's the standard of excellence that we Patriots strive for.
I'm thankful that this community lets us be who we want to be.
We thrive because we accept each other for who we are.
And like a family, we treat each other equally.
Actually, PWU gave us a home and helped us to be a patriot in society.
We may have different individual drums and instruments,
But we march to the same beat together as one united community.
Do you want to march with our community of patriots?
I am a patriot.
I am a patriot.
I am a patriot. I am a patriot.
Good morning to all our graduates of school year 2020, 2021, and 2022, and across all levels from bachelor, master's, and to doctoral degree, to our educators and staff, parents and guests, good morning. After 3 years since 2019, this will be the first in-person graduation in a pandemic era. We shall be traditionally conducting the 99th Commencement exercises at the Philippine International Convention Center on September 2. In line with this, we are presenting a virtual orientation to guide you all in our graduation ceremonies. Let us begin with the important schedules for you to note: the venue house rules, reiteration of the health and safety protocols, the dress code for graduates, and the answers to frequently asked questions. Allow me to share. Important schedules. The registration for graduation via Google Form is already uploaded and posted in our social media platforms, and the schedule for registration is until August 15. The deadline for general clearance submission, however, will be extended up to August 14. The submission of graduation photos and vaccination cards through the link provided via email upon registration is also until August 15. Our toga distribution will be at the HCB Hall starting 10 a.m. up to 12 noon and subsequently in the afternoon from 1 p.m. up to 5 p.m. on August 15 up to 19 and also on August 22 up to 26. Take note of the toga rentals. Let us remind you to return your caps and gowns on or before September 9, 2022 from 10 a.m. to 12 noon and from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. in the afternoon at the HCB Hall. Now present your official receipt and claim the toga refund at the cashier on or before September 9, 2022 from 10 a.m. up to 12 noon and from 1 p.m. up to 5 p.m. No refund will be given after September 9. Our schedule for the Baccalaureate Mass is on August 31 at 1 p.m. This will be live streamed over our Facebook platform. Our baccalaureate and investiture ceremonies will follow at 3 p.m. also virtually live streamed. On September 2, this will be our commencement exercises at PICC in person, and our call time is at 5:30 a.m. PICC House Rules. Appropriate attire is required for entry to PICC. Guests wearing slippers, flip-flops, casual or sports shorts, or undershirts will not be allowed to enter. PICC reserves the right to refuse entry or any person who is not appropriately attired. Bringing in and conducting the following are strictly prohibited: drugs and all other forms of contraband, alcoholic beverages, deadly weapons and objects, pets, food and beverages other than those served and prepared by the PICC caterer, loitering, sleeping, gambling, and of course cooking. Smoking is strictly prohibited inside the entire PICC complex. Cellular phones and two-way radios must be in silent mode or switched off inside the meeting rooms and halls where events are ongoing. Only authorized photographers will be allowed inside PICC to take pictures during ceremonies. And PICC shall exercise full authority within its premises and reserves the right to control, regulate, inspect, refuse entry to, or prohibit any person as well as materials considered inimical to or which constitute violation of the Philippine laws and PICC rules and regulations. Now, since this is a ceremony which is under limited face-to-face protocols, we have to ensure and follow the health and safety protocols. Minimum and public health standards shall still be practiced, specifically the following: the temperature scans, physical distancing, the use of face mask at all times except when eating or drinking. And there would be the availability of hand washing stations, sanitizers, and of course, alcohol. Guests must be fully vaccinated against COVID-19 in order to enter PICC. Presentation of proof of full vaccination, the hard copy or soft copy, will be accepted. This will be required upon entry for guests 18 years old and above. For guests 17 years old and below, they will be allowed entry if it is clearly stated that they are attendees, performers, or participants. Minors will not be required to present proof of vaccination, provided that they are accompanied by a parent or guardian who is fully vaccinated. The attire for gentlemen. Gentlemen must wear plain colored long-sleeve shirts and black or dark blue pants. Now wear black socks with black shoes. Rubber sport shoes are not allowed. For ladies, ladies must wear the PW standard uniform or a formal dress. They must avoid wearing a long gown or a dress that is longer than the academic gown. The length of the academic gown should be mid-cuff or 1 foot from the ground. Use hook and eye or discreetly placed safety pins to keep the front opening of the academic gown closed. You have to ensure that the gown is well pressed or ironed. And wear closed black shoes, not open-toed shoes or sandals. Now, the ladies can wear any of the following. They could either use their school uniform or opt for a plain colored formal dress without color. Then the dress should not be longer than the academic gown, and of course the shoes should be closed and black. Now at all times, the caps must be worn straight, not tilted. The tassels must be on the right side of the face. Now the hair must be combed back neatly away from the face. And mind you that no handbags, shoulder bags, clutch bags, bottled water, corsages, flowers, gifts, and even cell phones in the hands would be allowed when entering the hall or receiving the diploma. And also take note, all the plain black face mask. Now, the mask must not be removed rather, especially when going on stage to receive the diploma. Now, we are receiving a lot of emails. So we are presenting here the frequently asked questions. Number 1, can we have an additional companion? The university will strictly implement just one companion policy per graduate in the PICC. This will ensure that we do not exceed the maximum capacity of the venue and prevent overcrowding. So this is in line with the PICC and Pasay City LGU guidelines on their current public health protocols relevant to COVID-19. Another question would be, can we change the name of our companion? The answer is yes. You can send an email and we will edit the name of your guest companion once you provide us with the details. The third question would be how to register and upload the graduation photo and vaccination card. Okay, here are the steps. Step 1. Graduates will need to register their interest to participate in the graduation through the registration link found on the official social media accounts of PW on Facebook, Twitter, and even the Instagram. Step number 2, fill up the registration link, and then you will generate your e-ticket for the graduations, for the graduating student, and one also for the guest or companion. Step number 3, upon the completion of the details required in the registration link, the graduating student will upload their graduation photo and vaccination card, applicable to both the graduate and guest companion through the Google form. And lastly, you are requested to print the copy of the e-tickets for you, the graduate, and of course for your companion, and present this upon entrance to PICC on September 2. Another question, what to do if we do not have the soft copy of our graduation photo? All our graduates should follow the registration process posted on our platform. For those who were not able to avail the pictorial services of Tinolay, you can send us your graduation photo taken from a photo center near you by following the guidelines in our announcement from our social media post. Now, due to the demands of our graduates to have another schedule for pictorial, the Office of Student Affairs will hold another graduation pictorial on August 12th from 8 a.m. up to 5 p.m. Just visit our announcement at the PWU Facebook site for the registration or for the entries. Thank you very much. Now, at this juncture, we come to the general guidelines and the order of events in the commencement exercises. Please note of the venue specifics, the proper decorum, and the details in the various parts of the ceremonies. Allow me to share. The general guidelines, and of course, the program. This is our entrance to the Philippine International Convention Center. This is the reception hall where the registration will have to be checked. This is the grade 3 Florentino Street for the parking. General guidelines. The call time for graduates and guests at the PICC is at 5:30 a.m. For free parking, use Gate 2 or Gate 3 on L. Florentino Street. If the free parking is full, there is a pay parking area on V. Soto Street in front of PICC. Now, the graduates and guests are to use the main entrance for checking and verification. Graduates and guests must present the hard copy of the tickets together with the vaccination card and your ID to the designated checkers for ticket scanning and, of course, requirement validation. Now, strictly no vaccination card, no entry. After the ticket scanning and requirements validation, the guests should proceed to the plenary hall and wait to be admitted. The plenary hall opens at 6:30 a.m. for our guests. Meanwhile, the graduates should report to the registrar or the college representative at the bridgeway to have their names included in the ceremony. And mind you, failure to register at 6:45 a.m. will result in the non-inclusion of the graduate's name. So be punctual. Graduates are grouped according to their degree program following the minimum health protocol. They should fall in line in alphabetical order and must remember the persons in front and even behind them so that as not to lose their position in the line. Now, graduates must remain in their places and be ready to march as soon as the processional begins at 7 a.m. The cap and gown should be worn properly. The cap must be kept right on top of the graduate's head and not tilted, and the tassel must be placed on the right side of the face. Now, the graduates must refrain from talking, waving, making signs at their families and friends during the processional in order to preserve the solemnity of the occasion. Now, this is the bridgeway for the graduating students for queuing prior to the processional. And this is situated on the second floor. Now, this is the bridgeway relative to the plenary hall. The academic regalia. Note that our academic regalia is different across levels. So the bachelor would be open on the sleeves. However, the master's regalia would have its pouch at the end. So that is the distinction between the two. And the doctoral would also have bars on the sides. For bachelor's graduates, they are to wear the hood and the cap from the start of the ceremony. However, for the master's and the doctoral graduates, they should remain unhooded. So master's and doctoral graduates are to drape the folded hood over the left arm with the narrow neck end and collar edging in front, just like what you see in the picture. The cap must be worn already properly with the tassel on the right, because the hooding of the master's graduates and of course the doctoral graduates would be in the ceremony itself. Whereas for the bachelor's graduates, they are already hooded. Now we go to the program proper. The program would begin with the processional at 7 o'clock. So the candidates for graduation would enter, followed by the deans, the faculty members, the directors and heads of academic and non-academic units, the university officials, followed by the board of visitors. Then another group, the board of trustees, and this would be followed by the commencement speaker and of course the university president. So that is the order of processional starting 7 a.m. And of course, that will be followed by the entrance of colors, the national anthem, and invocation. So from the processional up to the invocation, the graduates are requested to remain standing. Now, after the invocation, the MC would now tell us to be seated. The welcome remarks would follow by the university president. This would be followed by the introduction of the commencement speaker, the commencement address, and of course, the presentation of certificate of appreciation to the commencement speaker. All the graduates at this point are already seated. Now note in the presentation of the candidates for graduation, which follows. Now, in the presentation of candidates for graduation, the graduates must rise together with the other graduates of their course when their degree or title is called. Now, they should remain standing in position until after their conferment by the PWU president. So, for example, the MC would say that may we now call on the PW Chancellor and Senior Vice President for Academic Affairs, Dr. Philina C. Young, to present the candidates for graduation for this year's graduating class. And of course, Dr. Young would come to the rostrum. She would say, may I request the candidates for graduation to please rise and remain standing when your degrees are called. So that is our cue. All the graduates would have to stand. Then, after the presentation of graduates, would be the conferment of degrees. President Marco Benitez would come to the rostrum and say, upon the recommendation of, I now confer you and those in absentia, your degrees and titles with all rights, duties, privileges, and responsibilities appertaining thereto. For the undergraduates, you may now transfer your tassels from the right to the left. Congratulations. So all the graduates, all the bachelor's graduates would have to transfer, would have to follow, would have to transfer their tassel from the right going to the left. And then for the master's graduates, the president may say, I now invest you with the academic hoods pertinent to your respective degrees. You may now don your hood and transfer your tassels from the right to the left. So this is the mass hooding for the master's graduates. And of course, congratulations. So after the conferment of degrees, we come to the awarding of diplomas. This is the awarding of diplomas for the undergraduate programs and the graduate programs. So the order would be from the School of Arts and Sciences, followed by, beginning with the School of Arts and Sciences, followed by the School of Education, the Philippine School of Social Work, Helena Z. Benitez School of International Relations and Diplomacy, the Conrado Benitez Institute for Business Education, the School of Hospitality Management and Tourism, the School of Food Science and Technology, the School of Music, the School of Fine Arts and Design, then the School of Pharmacy, Nutrition, Nursing, and Medical Technology. Now, the university marshals shall lead the graduates in groups according to their degree programs towards the base of the stairs at the right side of the stage. The graduates must wait quietly, keeping a safe distance from one another, and attentively for their names to be called. Okay, so when the deans call the graduate's name, he or she should walk briskly with grace and dignity towards the university president. The diploma must be received with the left hand to free the right hand for the congratulatory handshake with President Marco. The mask should not be taken off at any time, especially when going up the stage and during photo options as they descend. Now, in the interest of time, we have to do all this quickly. Now, this is the plenary hall. This is our stage, and this is the area where our graduates would be waiting for their names to be called by their deans. Now, the line would extend to the side up to the back. Okay, this is the line where the queuing would be. So, per program, the students would go and stage until their names are being called. So this is the plenary hall in picture. Now this is the right side where you should be standing in line waiting for your names to be called. Now note that in the awarding of diploma, the dean would begin with the bachelors, followed by the masters. And then, of course, finally, we have the doctorate degree. The investiture of hoods and the awarding of diplomas for graduates of doctorate degree comes after the master's graduate of every program. So when the dean calls the doctoral graduate's name, he or she should walk towards the university president and hand over the hood to the president. The graduate then removes the cap, bow the head to allow the president to don the hood. Then the graduate will replace the cap properly on his head, and then the tassel should be transferred from the right going to the left. Now, the diploma will follow. The diploma must then be received with the left hand to free the right hand for the congratulatory handshake with the president. So for the doctorate degree, first you have to don the hood, and then the receiving of the diploma will follow. So as soon as this is done, the graduate must walk forward down the stairs at the left side of the stage and return to his or her seat. Now, no cheering, applause, or catcalls as names are called, as this will distract the audience and delay our proceedings. You have to reserve applause for the end of your college or school's term. Now, after the awarding of diploma, we come to the awarding of medals to honor graduates. This will be led by our Chancellor and Senior Vice President for Academic Affairs. And also the valedictory address would follow. In these, all the graduates are expected to be seated. However, after the valedictory address, we have the Pledge of Loyalty to our alma mater, and this one will have to be led by the president of the PW Alumni Association, wherein the graduates would be requested to stand. The graduates would continue standing until, of course, up to the exit of our colors. So after the Pledge of Loyalty, the university hymn would follow, and of course the exit of colors of our Girl Scout troops. Now, only the official designated group of photographers will be allowed to take pictures during the commencement exercises, and that would be fluorophoto. Parents, relatives, and friends will be allowed to take pictures only after the ceremonies. A photo wall is set up on the left side of the plenary hall. So after you receive your diploma, you descend the stage, and you would find the photo wall already installed on the left side of the plenary hall. Another photo wall will be installed in the lobby for picture taking. So please avoid crowding the stage and even the photo designated areas in order to maintain physical distancing. Thank you very much for your kind attention. In all of these, let us not forget to observe the minimum public health protocols, as we are not only facing the escalation of COVID cases, but also the threat of monkeypox and even dengue fever. So please prepare all your requirements before the deadline. Keep updated with our announcements in the official social media platform. And see you all in person in the Philippine International Convention Center on September 2. This has been Professor Sherwin Toriano, the Graduation Committee Co-Chair, wishing you all a pleasant day. Until then, stay safe and healthy.